say standing up here receiving an award from the American Fertility Association, just being 9 years old, is something I never thought could happen. No, seriously.
We're still trying to figure out what fertility means. My name is Nero.
I'm Roman.
Curtis Shaw Child.
Desmond Child.
My name is Angela.
And this is
The story
Of our family. This is my daddy, which his real name is Desmond. Desmond, he's written big hits. I Hate Myself for Loving You, for Joan Jett. I Was Made for Loving You, for Kiss, Livin' La Vida Loca, for Ricky Martin. You Give Love a Bad Name, for Bon Jovi.
I do not know who Bon Jovi is.
Boys, this is your godfather.
Then it goes, it's all the same.
This is my dad, Papa, which his real name is Curtis.
Give me 5. Give me 5. I'm Mom. I'm Daddy Mom.
I don't have a mom. I have a surrogate mom, Angela. And this is Frank.
She's a girl.
Say hi to the camera. We're in a 2-dad family. I'm proud of it.
I always wanted a child. It was something that I even dreamed about when I was a child.
I think that I just always thought I'd have a family. I just wasn't sure how that would happen.
They had mentioned the fact that they had wanted to have a child previously.
I just kept looking at Angela and saying, maybe she could have our kid.
The universe put Angela in our path. It was such a magical journey. It just felt effortless.
It's really organically turned into this beautiful extended family, and we really just had nothing to do with it. It just created itself.
It takes a village, but in our case, it took the village people.
Love is the guider to truth, and love makes a family.
By making this documentary, we're going to show that it is possible. I think it's important that gay people try to make families and have a beautiful life. This will help to normalize relations between the straight culture and the gay culture. There are a lot of forces fighting against us. Every time I read the paper, there's another movement to try to take away our human rights.
The Don't Say Gay bill, and yes, it's actually called that.
They want to prevent teachers from talking about homosexuality in the classrooms. They don't want teachers to even use the word gay.
We're not supported really in forming committed relationships. We're not treated with equality.
I'm really happy to be here in Nashville.
It's a kind of a conservative community. When somebody comes up and asks, oh, is Mom giving a break today? And so I step up and I say, well, actually they have 2 daddies. And they're kind of like, for a second, and they go, oh, how does that work? I have some friends that, have been wanting to do that, and it's an activistic kind of thing that we've done.
We're in the middle of it. We're on the front lines, and we're here to be seen, and we're here to claim our place, and we're here to fight for what is equal and what is right.
It doesn't matter what the government thinks. If they like us or not, we like us. So every family has rights.
It's all about love, and our family is all about love.
Documentaries are like reality shows, but they're not fake. They're real.
This is the story of our family.
Nero, that was my line.
Oh yeah. Cut.
I'll be the light shining from within, from within. Let the end begin. I'll be the light shining from within.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Roman, and I'm 12 years old.
Hi, I'm Nero. We're twins, so I'm also 12 years old.
I'm really happy to be here today.
It is really an honor to be here today. If it weren't for Deepak, we would not be here. I mean, here, we wouldn't be alive.
It's true, Deepak. They wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. Hi, I'm Curtis, and 2
The Story of Roman and Nero is a documentary we made about how we became a family. It traces back to a trip we took with Deepak 14 years ago to India, where we attended a meditation retreat built around his book, How to Know God. And I have to tell you,
It's right in front of
we're laughing because when we were rehearsing going through this, the boys make fun of what I'm going to say the next because they kind of think that I'm one big hippie. That's their biggest problem, that the whole spiritual truth piece has not totally gotten through to them. But
No, only when you talk about that swirling finger thing, they start rolling their eyes a little bit.
But it was an amazing experience for us. It was like we were living in a fable. The finger of the universe began a gentle cosmic swirl.
That part.
But that synchronistic signpost would pop up, and it was unreal. They seemed like markers that showed us that we were on the path that we were supposed to be.
Well, and I really think that was because of all those signposts that we decided to do what we did with this. It actually started out as a personal video diary I was keeping for myself, and then I had a friend who had a better camera, and then I said, hey guys, let's take some interviews, and then it just organically morphed into this amazing, beautiful film.
And then about 4 years ago, we were incredibly fortunate to connect with our director, Heather Winters, who, along with her editor, Lennon Nersesian, combed through over 300 hours of video footage that we had gathered in order to find a narrative that reflected the life that we were leading.
That movie, Boyhood, has nothing on us, really.
And at that point, the boys were 9 years old, and so we decided to let them speak for themselves and talk to them so that they could become the narrators of their story. The documentary has screened in 17 film festivals across the United States over the last year and a half. And we were fortunate to win Audience Favorite Awards in mainstream festivals like Nashville, Palm Springs, and Los Angeles, and everywhere we've been.
And the Armenian Film Festival at the Egyptian Theater.
Who'd have thunk? And everywhere we've been, our message has resonated, the universal power and ultimate triumph of love, and that it's love that makes a family. 2 weeks ago, I traveled to Columbia, Missouri, the town I grew up in, where I presented the film with my 82-year-old mother, Mary Ann Shaw, whose journey from being the eldest daughter of 11 children in a fundamentalist Christian home to becoming an advocate for equality and tolerance is an emotional high point and a very tender part of our film. I feel like her journey toward acceptance of me and my choices and my family is the world's journey toward greater understanding and tolerance. And the reason we made the film, we feel like by opening a window into our lives, we want people to see that our families is pretty much like any other family out there. We do all the same things. We're trying to raise kids who are happy, healthy, grounded, facing the same challenges. I just hope that eventually Roman and Nero will be a little bit less embarrassed about having a papa who's a hippie. And I hope that they come to really understand the magic that conspired to allow them to be born.
Well, I had met Deepak, and Deepak invited Curtis and I to join him in India at the conference called How to Know God. And so we went, and that's where I met Angela, and it was, kind of love at first sight. It was like this, and we just sat together and talked and laughed, and then I was just looking at her, and I was just saying, okay, she's going to have my kid. I just knew it. And then what happened?
Okay, so then what happened? Well, slight backstory. I know I wouldn't be standing here today if it wasn't for my meditation practice. And it was because of that meditation practice and becoming one of Deepak's meditation teachers that I ended up on that tour in the first place. I was like the spiritual gypsy for a few years, just traveling around to as many CHOPRA Center seminars as I could, get to get my fix. It was an incredible time. So when they said How to Know God was going to be in India, I was like, I'm so there. So Desmond and Curtis were the first two that my mom and I connected with and really just bonded, and it was over our hot chai teas at dinner one night that they started telling me about their desire to have a child and start a family. And I was fascinated by this story because I was like, well, they're both men, and so they're gonna have to get a few pieces of the puzzle from other places. And so I was walking back to my room that night just like thinking about this, and then lo and behold, that night I had a dream that I was carrying their baby. And as Deepak says in our film, it was almost biblical. I mean, literally I had like this vision. I woke up in the middle of the night freaking out, like wondering if it was really happening, like one of those kinds of experiences. And it wasn't at the time, but a year later it would be. My dream literally came true. But I think Roman and Nero must have been hovering close by at some point, having a really good chuckle to themselves, thinking, ha 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 ha, little do they know there's two of us.
I think for me, one of the important reasons for making the film is because so often when you hear people talking about gay families, and it's like, well, you know, George Bush, you know, was on TV during the Prop 8 thing, and he said, well, I don't know why they want to get married. They can't have children. And it was like, and I was feeding them with like 2 bottles like this. And it's like, there's a concept out there that gay people are infertile. When I wasn't shooting blanks, let's just put it that way. And, you know, I think that somehow our families are marginalized. When I said, well, gay people have families too, and it's like, yeah, whatever. That doesn't, you know, it doesn't even come into the discussion. And so it was important that we showed the process from beginning to end, and this is where science, the science and the spirituality comes together, because we use science to bring them to earth, but everything around it was so spiritual, and all these signs, and we documented all of that in our film, because our children are just as sacred as any other child that's born, and there are angels around them. A wonderful thing happened when, see, they were born in the midst of 9/11. The actual implantation of the embryos.
Our in vitro was the week before 9/11. I was stuck in LA because I couldn't fly out.
September 7th, and I had flown all the way to Europe, and then I was waiting for Curtis in Crete, where we were going to have a vacation, and he wasn't able to fly. And somebody told me the story of King Aegeon, where he was on the cliff, and he, you know, it's this thing about his son, and he thought the son was dead, and all this kind of stuff. And so I had this dream that I was something like that in this temple, and I looked down at my hands, and there were golden coins in each hand. And that next night, Curtis and Angela called me to tell me that we were pregnant and we were going to have twins. And it was so amazing with the 2 coins, because there were figures of like profiles, like Roman or Greek gods. A few weeks after the boys were born, I get a little box in the mail, and it's from Deepak Chopra, and there are 2 gold coins, because it's an ancient Indian tradition that a gold coin is given for each child that's born. You know, so there you have it, where you know, those connecting dots always pointed us that we were doing the right thing and we were going in the right direction. And you know, thanks to science, we were able to have our own, you know, biological children. And you know, before talking about the modern family, we're a modern family, and we're very proud of it.
Yeah. Thank you. We think you'll love our movie too, so you should check it out at some point. It's a love story, really. It's about our love for each other, the love we got from the universe, and it's our way of kind of showing and giving that back as a testament of that love to everybody else. So.
And
Yeah.
thank you, Deepak, so much for allowing us to be here. It's
Yes.
such
Thank you.
a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
We're
And,
so indebted to you.
Next week, Morgan Spurlock is premiering two in all over the country and all these landmark theaters. It's called Morgan Spurlock Presents, and he's featuring two.
But we have a website. It's available on DVD and Amazon, iTunes. And we have a website to the documentary, TWO, thedocumentary.com.
And then we're going to be on Netflix in December.
Yeah.
So we're getting it out there because, I mean, here we're just preaching to the choir. The important thing is to get it to be seen by people that never even met a gay person or didn't know they did. So we're beach, you know, it's like, excuse me, who did your hair? And so it's about opening hearts and minds. And we see the graph the other day, yesterday, the graph of acceptance as it's climbing. And the thing is that justice and human justice and fairness and truth, that's something that we're moving towards, and we're a part of that. We're the last group in this country that isn't treated like human beings, like full human beings, because we don't have the full rights from coast to coast in every state. And so, you know, that's very important why we made a film like this that wasn't just all angry and all that, but a film about love.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, Modern Family, great to see you guys.
Great to see you, Deepak.
Nero.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. By the way, if you don't know, Desmond is one of the most prolific songwriters of all time.
Vida Loca.
Vida Loca.
Living on a Prayer.
Living on a Prayer, on and on. So he's one of the most, and these two kids. Great to see you guys.
Nice to see you too.
Thank you, Deepak.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.